So, some common symptoms shown by plant due to deficiency of mineral. So, macronutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, magnesium, they are the macronutrients. So, deficiency of nitrogen, it lead to retarded growth, means slow growth, you can say. And deficiency of phosphorus, that is, it gives the symptom of poor root growth, means the roots are not developed properly. Deficiency of potassium, it lead to the stunted growth, means growth is stopped. Just you can say prevented from the growth. And the magnesium, deficiency of magnesium, chlorosis, means yellowing of leaf, because it helpful in chlorophyll formation. Iron deficiency also chlorosis, because that is also helpful in this formation of chlorophyll. So yellowing of leaf, this chlorosis is a symptom of both deficiency of magnesium as well as iron. Manganese, that the symptom of deficiency of manganese, pale and spotted leaves, means the leaf become yellow color or the spots arises on the leaf. And the deficiency of zinc symptom, malformed leaf, means the leaf are not properly formed. Here is an exercise on the page number 22. Correct the false statement by changing the underlined words. You just match your answers. I already discussed with you. So first one, the root have an outermost single layer of cells called the cortex. So outermost single layer, we know that is not cortex, that is epidermis, and inner to the epidermis is cortex. So this underlined word cortex, in place of that you write epidermis. Root here have a semi-permeable membrane called the cell wall. So semi-permeable membrane, we know that is cell membrane. So instead of cell wall, we should write cell membrane. The movement of water molecule from a region of their higher concentration to a region of their lower concentration across the semi-permeable membrane is called diffusion. No, across the semi-permeable membrane, it must be osmosis. So in place of diffusion, you should write osmosis. Here the next one, in osmosis, the transport of molecule occurs against the concentration gradient. So here this process against the concentration gradient, it occurs in the active transport. There may be some mistake, because against the concentration gradient, this should not be underlined. The underlined word should be osmosis, because this is the active transport, and so in place of osmosis we should write active transport. Manganese is an example of macronutrient. So manganese is not macronutrient, it's a micronutrient. Now let's start transpiration. So transpiration is the process of loss of water in the form of water vapor from the aerial part of a plant, means through the stomata. So the loss of water from the aerial plant or through the stomata in the form of water vapor is transpiration. It is similar to evaporation. Transpiration can occur in three ways in plant: through stomata, through cuticle, through lenticels. So by three ways this transpiration occur in the plant. So maximum amount of water transpire through the stomatal opening. It's about 90% water is transpired through the stomata. And we know that the stomata, they are the tiny opening on the leaf, on the epidermis of the leaf, and the young stem as well. And these are present in more number on the underside of dicot leaves. Means in dicot leaves, there are the more number in the underside of the leaf, and upper side they just cover with the waxy covering. So maximum amount of water is transferred through the stomata. Another is through cuticle, and that is around 5 to 10% transpiration occur through the cuticle, and a waxy layer covering the leaf and stem epidermis. We know that the waxy layer which is formed on the upper surface of the leaf, that is called cuticle. So through the upper surface of the leaf, through the cuticle, only 5 to 10% transpiration occur. Then third category is through the lenticels. Lenticels are actually, they are the pores present on the older stem or means trunk of the tree or the bark of a tree. Means on the trunk, the bark, and on that the small pores are there because of the loose cells on that, and that those pores are known as lenticels. The pores which are present on the bark of the stem, bark of the tree or the older stem, that is known as lenticels, and through the lenticels around 0.1 to 1% of transpiration occur. Means maximum amount through the stomata, then through the cuticle, and around 0.1 to 1% through the lenticels. Here is a fact file that the plant stand erect due to the turgor pressure, and turgor pressure is just because of the continuous inflow of water into the cell, and which keeps the cell turgid. Means which keeps the cells in shape, you can say. But on very hot days, when the transpiration rate is increased because of the heat, because of the temperature, in comparison of the absorption, so as a result the water of the cell is reduced, and because of this the water content reduced, the leaf or the part of the plant wilt. Wilt means the droop down because of heat or loss of water or disease. So they just droop down, and that's because the less water is left in the cell due to the more rate of transpiration. So an adequate water supply for long will cause the drooping and drying up of its part. So we can say the adequate amount of water in the cells keep the cell turgid, which help to keep the plant erect. Now let's start another heading, importance of transpiration. So transpiration is very helpful in many ways, like it gives cooling effect, it helps in ascent of sap, and then it helpful in distribution of mineral, as well as it maintain the water cycle. So cooling effects, just like sweating help in our body to maintain or regulate the temperature, in the same way transpiration helpful in regulating the temperature, or you can say it gives the cooling effect to the plant. Another is ascent of sap. When continuous transpiration, it create a suction force. It's the continuous inflow of water towards the aerial part, and from the aerial part when it is transpire, so this continuous transpiration, it create a suction force, and the suction force that is known as transpiration pull. The suction pull is there, and that is called transpirational pull, and this transpiration pull is actually helpful in the ascent of sap. This helpful in ascent of sap. Means continuous inflow towards the aerial part of the plant, and this continuous transpiration through the stomatal region, so that actually creates a suction pull or the suction force, and as a result the sap which is there in the what you can say the in this vascular tissues, they just move upward. So it this transpirational pull is helpful in ascent of sap. Transpiration helpful in distribution of mineral also, as we just now discussed the transpiration pull. So due to transpiration pull, the sap ascent of sap occur. So ascent of sap is what? It's actually the solution of the mineral and water. So this helpful in distributing these minerals throughout the plant. When the water move upward towards the aerial part, so it helpful in the distributing the minerals. and of course it helpful in the to maintain the water cycle. The water which is transpired through the stromata that forms the cloud, and later on they just bring rain. Now the last topic of the chapter, factors affecting rate of transpiration. So here temperature, humidity, wind, light, they are the factor which are helpful in transpiration. And soil water, we can say it affects the transpiration, not exactly helpful, we can say it affects the transpiration, because some of the factor they increase the rate of transpiration and some of the factor they decrease the rate of transpiration. Like temperature, so the rate of transpiration increases with an increase in temperature. When the more temperature is there, more transpiration rate is there, since more water evaporates at a higher temperature. So the more is the temperature, more will be the transpiration. Humidity, the rate of transpiration decreases with an increase in humidity. Means if the more humidity is there, then the rate of transpiration will be decreased, because already the water molecule is there in the atmosphere. So the atmosphere is already saturated, and that's why the rate of transpiration is reduced. Then the wind, greater the speed of wind, higher is the rate of transpiration. This is because the vapor evaporating from the surface of leaf are blown away by the wind, and that actually is speeding up the rate at which water evaporates. Means when the more wind is there, then the more transpiration, the rate of transpiration will be more only. Why? Because the water vapor, the drop of the water, they just what you can say blown away by the current of air, and as a result it increases the rate of transpiration. Then light, the rate of transpiration is greater in light as compared to darkness. Why? Because light induces stomata to open. So it increases the rate of transpiration. Why? Because in a presence of light, the stomata can be open, so that water evaporate easily through these openings. We know that the water are transpired through the stomata, and the stomata can be open in presence of light only. So that increase, when the light is there, then the rate of transpiration is possible, you can say. When the stomata will not open, then the rate of transpiration is not possible, and means through the stomata is not possible. And then so soil water, lower the amount of water in the soil, slower will be the rate of transpiration.